Envious Stories.
The Dino-Detectives. The Mysterious Egg. Chapter 1. The Pterodactyl's Puzzle. Sunlight filtered through the lush vegetation of Dino City, casting dapple shadows on the cobblestone streets. It was the world where dinosaurs of all shapes and sizes lived side by side, bustling with activity. Among them were Rex and Eddy, a pair of dino detectives known for their sharp and witty, unquenchable curiosity. As the morning sun painted the sky in shades of orange and pink, Rex and Eddy rode through the bustling market square. The air was filled with the aroma of exotic fruits and the chatter of dinosaurs haggling over trinkets. Rex's tail swayed with excitement, while Eddy's eyes scanned the surrounding with keen observation. Just as they were about to move on, Eddy's keen eyesight caught something unusual. Half buried beneath a pile of leaves, a crumpled piece of parchment lay forgotten. He bent down, his claws gently lifting the parchment into the light. The paper was ancient and brittle, and its surface was adorned with intricate markings resembling the graceful wing patterns of a pterodactyl. "Rex, take a look at this," Eddy said, holding up the parchment. Rex turned to him, his eyes widening with curiosity. "What do you think it is, Eddy?" "I'm not sure, but these markings look deliberate, like they mean something," Eddy replied, his detective instincts tingling. Rex scratched his head. Could it be a map to a hidden treasure? Eddy's eyes sparkled. Or a clue to an unsolved mystery. Let's examine it more closely. With a gentle touch, Eddy spread the parchment out on the ground. The markings seemed to swirl and dance, forming intricate patterns that seemed to hold a secret message. Eddy studied the parchment, his mind racing as he tried to decipher its meaning. "I think this is a puzzle, Rex," Eddy said, excitement lacing his words. "A puzzle waiting to be solved." Rex leaned in, his eyes narrowing as he examined the markings. "But where do we start, Eddy?" Eddy shifted to a nearby stall where a wise-looking dinosaur was selling rare fossils and artifacts. "Rex, we need to consult Professor Trillo. He knows more about ancient markings and artifacts than anyone else in Dino City." Rex's tail wagged with excitement, and together they made their way to Professor Trillo's laboratory. The lab was a treasure trove of ancient scrolls, fossils, and mysterious contraptions. Professor Trillo, a wise and old triceratops, looked up from his work as Rex and Eddy entered. "Greetings, young detectives. What brings you to my humble abode?" Professor Trillo asked, a twinkle in his eye. "We found this parchment with pterodactyl markings, Professor. Can you help us decipher it?" Eddy asked, extending the parchment toward him. Professor Trillo adjusted his spectacles and examined the markings closely. "Ah, fascinating. These markings are indeed quite ancient and belong to the long-lost pterodactyl clan. They were known for their mastery of puzzles and riddles." Rex's eyes widened with intrigue. "Puzzles and riddles? That sounds exciting." "It appears that you've stumbled upon the first clue of a grand puzzle," Professor Trillo explained. "The pterodactyl clan was known to leave behind riddles and hidden messages for those who dared to follow the trails. To uncover the mystery, you must embrace their spirit of curiosity and ingenuity." Eddy nodded, absorbing the professor's words. "Where should we start, Professor?" Professor Trillo leaned in, a conspiratorial gleam in his eyes. "The pterodactyl clan used to gather near the cliffs of Dino Ridge. I suggest you begin your adventure there. And remember, my dear detectives, a true puzzle is not only about finding the answer, but enjoying the journey itself." Rex and Eddy thanked Professor Trillo and left his laboratory, their hearts filled with anticipation. As they stood at the edge of Dino Ridge, a gentle breeze ruffled their scales, carrying the scent of adventure. Rex's eyes scanned the horizon, and he noticed a peculiar rock with markings that bore a striking resemblance to the ones on the parchment. "Eddie, look over there," Rex exclaimed, pointing toward the rock. Eddie followed his gaze, his eyes narrowing as he examined the rock. "You're right, Rex. That rock has markings similar to the ones on the parchment." With a newfound determination, Rex and Eddie made their way toward the rock. As they approached, they realized that the markings were not mere scratches, but an intricately carved message. Eddie's claws traced the contours of the carvings, his mind racing to decipher the meaning. "It's a riddle," Eddie said, his voice filled with excitement. "A riddle left by the Pterodactyl clan." Rex leaned in, his eyes fixed on the carvings. "What does it say, Eddie?" Eddie cleared his throat and recited the riddle aloud. "Where history's secrets begin to dance amidst the stones in a wild expanse. To solve the puzzle, take a chance. Follow the path of the pterodactyl stands." Rex scratched his head. "Well, that's a riddle, all right. But what does it mean?" Eddie looked thoughtful, his gaze sweeping over the surrounding landscapes. "I think it leads us to the Dino Park, Rex. The wild expanse could refer to the park, and stones might mean something in the park itself." Rex's eyes lit up. "Then, let's not keep the Pterodactyl clan waiting. To Dino Park." And so, with a riddle echoing in their minds and the promise of a thrilling adventure ahead, Rex and Eddie set off toward the Dino Park. Little did they know, their journey had only just begun, and the pterodactyl puzzle would lead them to mysteries beyond their wildest imagination. Thank you guys for joining us for our very first chapter of Dino-Detectives, The Mysterious Egg. Chapter 2 coming soon with more mystery and more adventure on Dino-Detectives, The Mysterious Egg. Bye guys!
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.